just getting set up here. I'm going to give a few minutes in case anybody is hopping on. All right, looks like it's showing up there. All right, welcome. I don't know if anybody has popped in yet. We're just going to hang out here at the drawing board for a little bit. I've got most of this sketch kind of roughed out. I'm just going to fill in a few of the details and clean it up a little bit, and yeah, that's about it really. So I'll keep peeking over at the Facebook Live and see if anybody's hopping on. If you do hop on and you have a question or anything, feel free to throw that in the chat down there, and if I see it, hopefully I'll see it, I will try to answer it. Oh, hey, Sam. It's funny. I'm watching this on both the computer and the phone. It's not showing anybody on the phone version, but now I see your comment over there. I'm probably missing a lot of spots. Oh, thanks. Hey, thanks. Good looking out. Surprised you're not out shooting something or camping out and getting some long exposure photos. It's funny, I don't know why it's not showing up on the phone. fair enough. I'm gonna try and tweak something on the phone here real quick. No, it's interesting. Okay. Well, thanks for popping in. It's not showing me on the phone how many viewers I currently have, if any. So you commenting out there is the only idea that I get at this moment. I started working on this one Saturday, actually. A buddy and I got together. We were hanging out, doing some drawing and stuff, and so I probably spent a couple hours on it that day, and then I just started it back up tonight just to fill in some details. Basically, I'm going to try to do a handful of Star Wars sketches, and then in a little over a month, I'm going to Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. And my goal is to maybe do a few impromptu art drops around the area while I'm up there. So who knows? If anybody's up there and has a keen eye and feels like following my social media, I'll leave some clues on social media. You might find yourself an original sketch. Alright, I got a marker that's about dried up there, so that's always good. Gotta buy some refills for that one. So what are you up to tonight, Sam? And if anybody else is on watching at the moment, if you don't mind, drop me just a quick note in the comments, because I'm noticing something interesting with my phone in that it's not showing me any viewer numbers. And actually the comments aren't showing up on the phone either. Thankfully I have my computer fired up behind me too, and I'm kind of keeping an eye on both. Hey Dan, thanks for stopping by. What you up to? La vida loca. You're living the dream, Sam. Living the dream. Yeah, so anyway, I'm hoping to have a few of these to take with me to Orlando, and then just kind of scatter them around in the vicinity of Celebration, and hopefully do these art drops. And then not long after that is going to be Free Comic Book Day, and so down here around a couple of the shops, I'm going to try to maybe do a couple of local art drops just to get back into doing a few art drops. So we'll see. Hopefully my plans work. I have a lot of plans and not enough time, it feels like. But we're getting there. So right now I'm just kind of trying to fill in some of these areas. Very sketchy. It's just, this is just kind of a roughish sort of head sketch. This will be one of the items that I include in those art drops. Star Wars Celebration will be April 13th through the 16th, I believe are the dates. Yes, coming up a little over a month away, and I can't really wait. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to watch, Dan. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you recently when you were around here. I hope everything's going well. Sam, what kind of commission do you have in mind? We can chat. You know how to find me. This might end up being a shorter broadcast than I had envisioned, because really I don't know that I'm going to do a whole lot more to this than I thought. But hey, it gives me a chance to try back the Facebook Live, which I think I'm going to try to do a little more of on this page. Maybe try to get some more drawing board sessions. All right, Sam, that sounds good. You know how to find me. All right, Dan, I'll see what I can do. Got any requests? And that's the other thing too. If anybody is watching and if you're planning on going to Celebration, or even if you're going to be local and have requests for potential pieces for any of the art drops coming up, feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments. Feel free to message me later, whatever you want to do, and no guarantees that I can include your suggestions, but I always like hearing what people want to see, and I try to do them when I can. No promises. I appreciate the likes, appreciate the comments. Thanks for tuning in and giving a look tonight. Yeah, I've been delving back into comics a bunch recently. I just went through, I'm trying to reorganize a bunch of my collection, which is, of course, with some of these events coming up, getting kind of trying to get myself back into the routine and get some more art out there. I'll give it a stab, Dan. I'll give that a whirl. I know Michelle has requested I design a tattoo for her as well, and that is still a work in progress. So feel free to let me know what you have in mind. And I am starting to see a little bit of activity on the phone, but it's interesting. I'm still only seeing the comments on the computer. So if I miss something, apologize. I'm trying to keep an eye on both at this point. Technology, I love it. So speaking of comics, if anybody out there is interested in them, I was hanging out with my buddy Marcus over the weekend, and we try to get together every once in a while and do some sketching and do some recording and that kind of a thing. And he mentioned to me a documentary called The Image Revolution, and it's on Amazon Prime, which I just found last night and gave it a watch. It's actually a really cool documentary. If you are into comics at all, and especially image comics, which I know I was big into because that was sort of right around the peak of my early collecting days. It's a really interesting look at those artists and those creative folks and how they really kind of changed the industry and got creator control back to a lot of properties and things, or at least properties moving forward. So recommend it. I saw it on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure what other services it might be on, but it was called The Image Revolution. Oh, The Image Revolution, Sam. It was on Amazon Prime. So it has folks like Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, all of those guys. If anybody is familiar with any of those artists, it was just really a kind of a fascinating look at them breaking away from the big two, Marvel and DC, and creating a whole new comics company. And it's timely this year, and I think why it was fresh on a lot of people's minds is, of course, this is the 25th anniversary of Image Comics. So this company that they created, in which a lot of people were really only giving them about 6 months to a year until they failed, are now 25. And Image is also home to the Walking Dead, the printed version. So that's sort of where that source material resides as far as from a publishing standpoint. In case anybody out there is into that kind of stuff. All right, I think I'm actually getting pretty close on this one. Now I'm going to leave some of these a little bit rough. I'm going to leave probably some of these pencil marks even on here. I'll clean it up a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to add red to them or not. I might just leave this one black and white. Oh, hi, Gary. All right, I think I'm probably going to just go ahead and call it quits on this one. But while I have you guys here for a few more minutes, I'll just real quick, we've got, so I do these little Post-it guys every so often, and I've been finding these little 4x4 frames at craft stores, which have been really awesome. AC Moore, I think you can find them for $1, or maybe they were on sale, but anyhow, I've been using them for my Post-it drawings, and this one's probably got a little dust on it. Sorry. But anyway, thought those were pretty cool. So I'm amassing a whole bunch of those, and it always gets kind of a chuckle from the clerk when I walk up with a stack of these little square frames, because they probably, I don't know that they really sell too many of them to anybody else, but anyhow. All right, gang. Okay, I think I am, there's my wife. She says she loves my Post-its. Thank you, baby. Love you. All right, I think I'm going to call it quits on this one, and maybe we'll try to do this each week. Maybe, what do you guys think? Tuesday evenings, maybe another evening in the week. We'll try to do maybe one drawing board session a week, leading up to Celebration. So I'll probably do a different Star Wars character a week. Feel free, if you have any suggestions, throw them at me, and I'll see what I can do. But all right, thanks for watching. Appreciate you tuning in, and have a good night.